Wow.
That's funny.
I just have nothing but admiration to know that somebody of your status in the performing world of music, that you have that honesty, because I think
Mm.
sometimes people have that stereotype thing. You're a pop star, you basically have everything perfect. We want to be like you, but to have that
Right.
honesty, to know everyone has a fight every day in some way, shape,
Yeah.
or form, and the connection with the music, and then the honesty as well. It's just a breath of fresh air. It's just great to actually have that on the show as well, because I think so many people actually kind of create this picture of everything being perfect,
Yeah.
and it's not. And that's why as songwriters we can write these songs. We've lived it, we've gone through it, we've had that heartache, and sharing those journeys are a part of the
Yeah.
healing for everyone, because everybody takes something different away.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And I think
Yeah.
if anything over the past couple of years with the pandemic and everything and the isolation that was sort of forced
Mm.
upon us, I've learned, or I'm trying to be more honest with the people that I love and my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and when I'm asked a question, I'm trying to just be real. I've been guilty of, when someone asks me how I'm doing, to say, "Yeah, I'm great. It's perfect." And, you know,
Yeah.
I don't really want to do that. As I know, it's sometimes someone asks you a question. Yeah, I'm fine. You know,
Fine.
you gotta.
Right.
It's, it's, we don't have time for a whole diatribe about why I'm feeling kind of down. But I think just being honest and being real. I don't know. I guess part of it too is I'm not interested in anything else anymore. Like I don't I don't. If you're not going to be real with me, why are we doing this? Right? Whatever it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
let's just be
I
real
think
with
that's
each
the
other.
beauty. As we get older, we don't tolerate as much, and we become more honest
Yeah.
with ourselves. And you think, gosh, if only I could have done that 15, 20 years ago. But
Yeah. Sure.
it's part of the journey, isn't it? It's part of the journey.
I think it is, Mel. I think also too, for a long time, I don't know that I could have told you how I'm feeling. Not even why I'm feeling that way, but how
Yeah.
I'm feeling. Right?
And
Yeah.
it comes with knowledge, your own knowledge,
Yeah.
as we all kind of age gracefully, as they say.
Try
So,
to.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
it's
try. We're not
weird
doing
and
too
stuff.
bad.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I love your honesty. That's why I love you. I love you. I mean, it was, you heard it
No.
from the start. Even when we got together, I gave you the little bro hug and you said, this is
Yeah.
awkward. Let go. That's how it works. But with that, where are places that you still want to play? I know there is huge demand for Europe and London calling on you. So I wanted to make sure at
Yeah.
least, people
London
know.
is calling, Matt.
Yeah. So,
I would desperately love to get. We played in the UK years and years and years
mhm.
ago, and then we just haven't since then. With no there's no intention to that. There's no reason really
Mhm.
for it. But I desperately want to get back to the
Okay.
UK and get back to Europe, but specifically to the UK. I I love getting to. So my girlfriend and I went to Hyde Park a few years ago to see The Cure play in the summer, the summer series that they have, and it was just magic. Like we walked from our hotel to Hyde Park, and I have goosebumps just thinking about it. It was just one of those perfect,
Magical moments. Yeah.
perfect magical moments. Yeah. And um and and I would love to be able to get back there and actually do my thing,
Mhm.
in some way, shape, or form at some point. So yeah, I'm working on it and trying to make that happen, and I would love to get back to the UK.
Well, we will do our best. We'll even have you on our show. We'll get you out there.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this gets me to my next question. I'm going to put you, you're going to have to think about this.
Yeah.
Right. So
Right.
you get to pick the ultimate Vertical Horizon band with you up front. I know
Mm.
you'll probably pick Neil Peart on drums. You
Yeah.
wrote, was
Yeah.
Even Now, wasn't
Even now. That's right.
unbelievable song. So walk
Thank you.
me through. You
Yeah.
can add even a keyboardist. So walk me
Okay.
through these musicians.
Okay. All right.
And no
So
disrespect to your bands. Okay.
thank you for saying that, because that was just what I was
Yeah.
just about
Because
to
those are
say. With no,
great. No
they're
disrespect to
great.
them. So
No,
And,
but for
Matt, can I
some,
just I need to influence you just a little bit because
Please.
Steve wants to be in this band, and I know he's been practicing the kazoo. He told me that he wanted to set up the kazoo band with you.
Right.
So try and see if there could be a
Yes.
feature on the kazoo or the
Yeah, the
triangle. Don't leave him out.
kazoo.
Look him. He's actually praying. Look, he's praying.
Yeah. Yeah, the kazoo. Well, I mean, so of course there's a lead kazoo in Vertical Horizon in
Yeah, in
my
your
dream
dream.
lineup. Yeah,
Mm.
I'll get you,
and
Mel. I'll get you.
that would certainly be Steve Benz on lead kazoo. Um,
Well then.
but it is funny that Steve, because you do love the kazoo. Have you ever actually played
Yes.
kazoo on your show?
I have.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
with his nostrils. Yeah, one-sided.
Oh man, yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but
Yeah.
good for you. Another
Yeah,
talent, sir.
I do.
Yeah, so Neil Peart was a dear friend of mine, and Rush is my favorite band of all time. He was my favorite lyricist.
Hmm.
So yeah, so if we're playing the game and we're really
Hmm.
playing it,
Yep.
then I'm gonna. So Neil would be. It's hard to not choose. Actually, now that you mention it, it's hard not to choose all the guys in Rush. If I'm
True.
given this, you know what I mean?
True.
Like, so
True.
let's make a rule. Like, I can only choose one guy from a
Yeah.
band. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm choosing
Gotcha.
Alex
That's
and
Yeah, there's
fair.
Getty
gonna
as
be
well.
more.
Yeah.
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 So Neil would be the drummer. I would probably want to have Greg Hawk from the Cars playing
Oh, that's
keyboards.
sweet. Okay.
That's a
That
good.
would He would be cool. Or who's the keyboard player in Duran Duran? It's
Oh,
not.
that's
Not
It's
John. It's not the other one, is it?
oh
anyways.
shoot.
He's also a total badass.
You know, that's bad that I don't know
It's
him off the top of my
No,
head.
no, it's okay. It's okay. Bass player. I want Mark King from Level 42
That's a good one. Oh,
That is a good
because I
one.
want him, and then he can
Oh,
sing
mm,
right, and it's just going to be
yeah,
amazing. And
that's
then
a
what
good
do I
one.
get? Another guitar player? Do I get one more
yep.
guitar
You sure
player?
do. Nick Rhodes.
Um,
Nick Rhodes.
Nick
Oh,
Rhodes. Thank
Duran
you.
Duran. Nick Rhodes.
So
Nick.
Nick Rhodes, yeah, Rhodes or Greg Hawk if one couldn't be available. And then let's hey, look, if we're really doing this, let's get Eddie Van Halen in
There
on
we go.
guitar. Okay, fine,
That's
Wow.
one hell of a band.
Let's
Never
get
great
them
played
all
band.
it
in
all done.
London. That would be a
Yes,
show. Wow.
yeah,
Rock and roll, baby. Wow.
Wow.
yeah.
Those are some great picks. And
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, I wish that they were all available.
it might be.
Now that,
They
yeah,
might be. You never
Dr.
know.
Steve will call. Dr. Steve, they'll be
yeah,
like, we're all over this, right?
Dr.
yeah,
Steve with
no,
his kazoo.
Hmm.
Just don't bring the rubber gloves. Don't do that. No, no. Put everyone off.
No, yes,
Oh, now in a
but
few
Keep
minutes
them
we'll have you play something. You know, obviously,
yeah.
great musician. I want everybody to
up.
hear your music. So with that, so where are you going now? So you got the rest of this tour. What do you think will
Yeah.
happen in 24? You know, give me a little crystal ball for the next year.
It's interesting. So next year is the 25th anniversary of Everything You
Is it
Want.
25? Yeah.
I
I think
think
so.
so. And so we're going to want to do some stuff to celebrate that.
Mm.
We're sort of figuring all that out now. I'm not sure really where we'll be, to be honest. It's the amazing thing about the past couple of years were weird, right? So, but pandemic notwithstanding, we have this consistent work, and there's this work-life balance that is incredible now. It's like we go away for a long weekend and then we're home for a few days and we go away for a long weekend. It's a lot of country bands have been using this model now for years and years and years. As a consequence of that, I think people don't get burned out as much. And I know that I don't get burned out as much. We used to go away for 9 weeks and then come home, and for 3 weeks you couldn't do anything but just lie on the couch and
Mhm.
try to become a normal person again. And make no mistake, I mean, being on the road is a very very strange lifestyle. You know, you're going from place to place, hotel to hotel. Most minutes of the day are kind of mapped out for you. So when you finally come home, to have some free time or just be able to be with the people that you love, other than your bandmates, of course, that's really really nice. So I'm not sure. I mean, I can tell you we'll certainly be on the road.
Mhm.
We're working on two records right now,
Awesome.
and I'm not sure when they'll come out. I learned the hard way. When I'd be like, it's gonna be out in January of 2024. Like, it's not. It's not. It's definitely not. So just shut up and release it, or like a week out. Like, make the announcement then. So yeah, but we'll be out there in the world. Hopefully, be able to come to the UK at some
Always,
point. Yeah.
always,
That's
get
great.
you out to UK. I know that Mal being a songwriter as well. I know I don't want to put her on a spot. I know that she had a question about co-writing with
Mm,
other people. So
yes.
we were talking about Richard Marx, and
Mm.
she had a question about what it was like. Sorry to step on you there, Mal, but
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, we were talking earlier on about your collaboration with Richard. How did that come about? And what was the process?
So I met Richard. We were playing in, I believe, Tampa, Florida, and it was around one of the Super Bowls. I'm not an American football guy, so I couldn't tell you when that was. But we were sort of playing on one stage, and then a few blocks away, he was playing on another stage. Our bass player Sean knew his drummer Herman, and Herman invited us to come over and watch the show. So the times just worked out. It was one of the few times on the road when you can actually go see a band that you want to see, because most of the time you'll be on the stage at the same time that they will. And so we went over and we knocked on the bus door to say hello. And his tour manager, Richard's tour manager, asked who we were. We said Vertical Horizon, and I heard Richard's voice in the bus saying, "Vertical Horizon, no way, get them in here." And so it was really cool. I
Yeah.
was and am a huge fan of his music from his first record on. I
Yeah.
studied his first record. I drilled down on that record real hard, and then all the subsequent records. And so let's see, we just sort of, I think, exchanged emails and just occasionally would say hello. When we released the Go record in 2004, that was a particularly difficult time for me, because it was when RCA, the writing was on the wall with RCA that they were not being supportive and not going to be helping us in the ways that they had helped us during the Everything You Want record. And he wrote me this beautiful email saying, "Hey, I know what you're going through. And just know that I think this music is beautiful music, and you did an incredible job, and
Wow.
just know that the Marx family is a huge fan of what you're doing." And it came at a particularly sort of challenging moment, and it meant the world to me, and we just became started to become friends. And when Mal, I'm not sure how much co-writing you've done. Do you do a lot of
I do. I have
co-writing?
done quite a lot in the past. Yeah, that was really the way that I started with my career, writing for other people. Then I kind
Oh,
of,
okay.
yeah,
Interesting. Okay, so for me, it was the exact opposite. I was very precious, protective, threatened
mhm.
yeah,
by the idea of someone else coming in and collaborating with me. I felt my gut reaction was that someone else was going to, you know, water down whatever the purity
sabotage your
was, and
creation. Yeah, yeah, and it happens. Been there, got the
well,
t-shirt. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I
Always
think it
happens.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does. It's
I think
painful. It's not good.
I think it can happen. I think what I had to do though was really just get a mental adjustment about the whole process. Like, okay, when you're going to be, if you go play tennis, you don't expect to just hit a ball across the net and
Yeah.
for it to sail off into the, you need someone else there to hit the ball back, is what I'm saying. And I think collaboration can be viewed in a similar way. Improv comedy, one of the fundamental rules of improv comedy is yes and. I don't know if you're familiar with the yes and rule, but
Mhm.
if you're on stage and you're doing an improv bit and one of the guys says, I'm a spaceman and I've got a bag of potato chips. And the other person across the stage from them says, no, you're not. Well, then the scene's done, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You're dead.
Mhm.
But if
Yeah.
they say, yeah, and they're salt and vinegar, and I want one, but I can't eat it through my space helmet, then you've got a
You're
scene,
in the
right?
moment. Yeah,
You're in the
absolutely.
moment. And I think collaborative songwriting is very much the same thing. You may think you know what this song or scene is about, but you don't actually, because there's someone else in the room with you. Let the
Mhm.
song become this other thing. Let the scene grow
Yeah.
with the two of you together. And so I was going to say, just because you're friends with someone, in this case Richard Marx, does not mean that you will necessarily be good collaborative songwriters together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we did eventually sort of say, hey, let's give it a shot. No harm, no foul. And if it works out, great, terrific. If it doesn't, which it very often doesn't, you don't worry about it. You don't have the energies that are sort of simpatico for collaborative writing together. And it turns out that he and I just really, boy, when we get in a room,
Mm.
Yeah.
it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. It's not possible for us to not resonate and lift each other up
That's
to
great.
another level. I mean, it has to be said, he's one of the best songwriters I've ever met in
Absolutely.
my life.
Mm.
He is one of the most talented musicians I've ever met in my life, best singers I've ever heard in my life. So when he's in any room, he's going to be elevating those people that he finds in there. But for me, fortunately, like I have learned, hey, I can do this thing too, and so I get in there with him, and we have a great time together. But I had to learn how to collaborate,
Yeah.
not just with Richard. I mean, just as a songwriter. And Mal,
Mm. Yeah.
clearly, if you've done a lot of it, then it's not the same thing as just sitting in a room and kind of thinking about whatever it is that's
It's
chewing you
not,
up.
no. And it's quite interesting with management companies when they come and they say they want a certain song for an artist, and you kind of
Right.
push that direction. What the day of the studio session, when it happens, you're thinking, this isn't working because of this and whatever. It hasn't got that organic feel. I did a
Yes.
song recently with someone and took it into my publisher, and he was like, wow, how long have you guys been working on this? It's amazing. I'd never met the person in my life. We walked into the studio, recorded in the first 3 hours, and walked
Right.
away with a gem. And you're like, wow. Yeah, that's when you have the moments. And then it's like,
Boom.
yeah, and then the publisher says, get back in next week. You've
Yeah.
got
Good for
something else.
you.
Yeah, which is good, but
Ah,
that doesn't happen all the time. But
no.
yeah, and it's like
Some.
pushing water uphill, isn't it? If it's not working, it's not working. It's got to have that right vibe in the studio. So
I remember sitting down with a guy who was on a label. I won't mention the label and I won't mention the artist's name, but he sat down and we were getting started, and he was like, I need this record to be better than the best Led Zeppelin record.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't want
And
too
I was
much.
and I
Yeah,
was like,
just
dude, we're
take
dead. You just
mine.
killed us. We're dead. Like we can't, no matter what we do, we're failing. We can't help it. Like if you feel that, cool.
Yeah.
Just don't
Yeah,
tell anybody.
Yeah.
Just
Don't say
shut
it.
up.
exactly. Yeah. Don't throw it out in the universe, whatever you do.
No.
And
No.
Don't.
before anyone asks, Matt and Rich actually pushed out a CD called Duo. So I'd like to see a Duo
Yeah.
2. I would love to see that. And I was in the
Well.
audience for
Oh
one of the
yeah.
recordings and stuff. So that was,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Richard
We
was
did a
so
duo
funny. The two
record.
of you together look like you've been friends your entire life. You were
Yeah.
so entertaining. Music was unbelievable. Just funny. Both of you just
Uh,
funny together.
well, he's hilarious. I mean, it's almost not fair. You know what I mean? Like how talented he is in so many different
You
ways.
can't be
But
funny
yeah.
too.
Oh, you're sweet, man. Thank you so much. But I do know, yeah. If once we would walk out on that stage, we'd spend half the night laughing, And those were fun shows. Yeah, so we did a duo record in the studio, and then we did a live duo record as well. And maybe someday we'll do something else.
It'd
We'll
be a
see.
lot of fun. So I'd like you, if you can, grab your axe. I'd like.
Yeah.
I'm sure the audience would love to hear you play. I know I would.
I just so happen to have,
It was just sitting there.
yeah, all this time. Sorry, there's. I don't know
No,
if you
it's
can
all
hear.
right.
Yeah.
Play what you feel, as they say too, with everything else. And
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to play Everything You Want. This song changed my life, you know, and one of the most beautiful things about this song for me is that I still love it so deeply. You know, sometimes I hear artists complain about their hit or their hits, you know, and I think sometimes, Mal, to what you were saying earlier, they may have been sort of selected for them by a label, or you know, the artist may have had not had a lot of input into the song. So I can understand how frustrating that experience would be. But fortunately, this one came from a very pure place and stayed very pure throughout its creation. So I'm thankful for that. All right, here we go. Somewhere they're speaking, it's already coming in. Oh, and it's rising in the back of your mind. You never could get it unless you were fed it. And now you're here, you don't know why. Under skin knees and the skin marks past the places where you used to learn. You howl and listen and wait for echoes of angels who won't return. He's everything you want, he's everything you need, he's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you, and you don't know why. You're waiting for someone to put you together. You're waiting for someone to push you away. There's always another wound to discover. There's always something more you wish he'd say. He's everything you want, he's everything you need, he's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you, and you don't know why. But he'll just sit tight and watch you unwind. It's only what you're asking for, and you'll be just fine with all of your time. It's only what you're waiting for. Out of the island and into the highway, past the places where you might have turned. You never did notice, but you still hide away. Anger of angels who won't return. He's everything you want, he's everything you need, he's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. He says all the right things at exactly the right time, but he means nothing to you, and you don't know why. I am everything you want, I am everything
was badass, dude. That was
Oh,
badass.
thank you.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to cry. I'm having a moment here. This is like having a personal concert.
Oh, thank you guys.
Wow.
Thank you.
Make sure you
Ooh.
follow Matt and the band at verticalhorizon.com on all of the
Wow.
socials. Londoners, we need to get the man and the band
Dude.
to London. We need to do that.
And we
Matt,
will.
always a
Love
pleasure,
that.
my friend.
Hey, great to see you, Mal. It's a pleasure to meet you,
Pleasure to meet you too,
Steve.
Matt.
It's always a pleasure, Steve, and thank you for all the support you've shown to my band and my music over the years. It means a lot to me.
Much love to you and the family, the Vertical Horizon family.
Yeah, buddy.